Perfection in the form of a red bone, curly head so swagged out, them niggas blowing up her cell phone. She just ignore him, soaring above him, seated comfortable on her pedestal, level too high to reach it. But I did, and I didn't even know it. Wanted her so bad, but I didn't even show it. Just knew she was the dopest, I mean, what more could I want? Stacy Dash bad with a closet full of dunks, so cold, had me stuck. Magnet to the fridge, holding up a photograph of what we could have been. On the train to the tax shop, ink up in our skin, eternal life on your neck. I should've took the sign then, but I played it cool. Infatuation had me racing back and forth in my head about how far we could take it then. I was sitting on the plane when my pulse got slow. That's when I realized I left my heart back in Chicago. I left my heart back in Chicago. I know. Just tried to see how far could I go. But my heart was in Chicago. I mean, shorty so bad, she hit me like no other. My heart was in her hands, couldn't give it to another. Left my heart back in Chicago. I left my heart back in Chicago. I know. Back home now, business to be tended to, but the only thing I'm focused on is how much I was digging you. Weekly text message, what down, shorty? Yeah, that became a ritual, visual, lies and all the slick shit I should've said. Everything I could've did, wondering if you would've cared. Thinking about all the fun that we had with all them people at your pad, and how I wish that none of them was there, so it could just be me and you. Shaking my head, thinking about what we could do. Seeing through the shadows of regret just don't seem feasible when I'm blinded by these speeches who surround me and all I see is you. Can you see it too? I need to know if love exists. Can you be the proof? Speeding to the nearest vehicle, my chest hollow, breath getting short. I gotta get back to Chicago. I left my heart back in Chicago. Just trying to see how far could I go. My heart was in Chicago. I say shorty so bad, she hit me like no other. My heart was in her hands, couldn't give it to another. Left my heart back in Chicago. I left my heart back in Chicago. I know it's crazy, right? Letting love play me like a game of dice. If I had to describe it, I would say it's like starving for eternity, 5 feet from a steak and can't take a bite. Shaking like a fiend that hasn't had a hit in weeks. About to face defeat, but that don't mean I ain't gonna stay and fight. And I should probably reduce my speed, going hard on this liquor and weed, just trying to stay in flight. Is the distance killing any feelings that remain, or am I just twisted in the brain for? Like, why can't she hear the potential knocking and see me standing at the same door? Feet on the same floor, soldiers in the same war. Or maybe my thoughts was too deep, making promises I couldn't keep. Permanently in my head is all that I know. I'm dying slow. Left my heart back in Chicago. Left my heart back in Chicago. Just tried to see how far could I go, but my heart was in Chicago. I say shorty so bad, she hit me like no other. My heart was in her hands, couldn't give it to another. Left my heart back in Chicago. Left my heart back in Chicago.